Hello everyone, welcome to the Confident Communicator Connect series. Let me take a minute to formally introduce our guests to our viewers and listeners, though I'm sure most of you know Archana from Archana's Kitchen. Archana Doshi is an extraordinary powerhouse who wears many hats. She's a successful food entrepreneur, a food activist, a wife and a mother. In 2007, she founded Archana's Kitchen, India's leading food and recipe platform. She was also featured as a Google entrepreneur on the web for her outstanding work in the digital space. Archana is passionate about returning back to basics with cooking at home to ensure a healthy body, mind, and soul. I visit her website regularly because it empowers me to get in and out of the kitchen in the shortest amount of time. 14 million users access her recipes monthly. So in conjunction with the launch of our Personal Almanac, My Life, My Way, and in these 8 days leading up to International Women's Day on March 8th, we're doing a series of interviews with women of substance like Archana who have made a choice of living their life their way. Archana, it's truly an honor to talk to you today. Welcome again.
Thanks, Deepma, for the lovely introduction. Yeah.
Archana, it must have taken a lot of courage in 2007 to quit your job and start Archana's Kitchen. Tell us a little bit about yourself and your journey.
I lost my job in 2001. I was a software engineer before that and worked as a software engineer. Never wanted to study what I did. Never wanted to be a software engineer. I always thought that I wanted to run a business, right? So right from when I was a child, but the South Indian genes sort of made me to do my education, computer science, and then get into that job. I think 2001 was a boom. In the 2001 dot-com bust, I lost my job in the US, and that probably was a turning point for me to reevaluate and think what I want to do. Fast forward, close to about 6 years is when I started Archana's Kitchen. I had my children, got married, and I said, okay, I need to do and get back into doing something more productive and meaningful. I was a great cook. I used to host a lot of parties, cook healthy. I used to be very into fitness and also healthy cooking and eating. So friends and family said, why don't you sort of use your time in writing a book? I said, why a book? Let me actually put it up on the digital platform, and that's the way forward right now. And used my sort of software skills, you can say, to sort of put up a platform and a website, and with a single mission to actually enable people to cook easily. The premise of the entire platform was to enable people to have access to recipes that are easy, ingredients that are not intimidating, which are holistic, which are easily available, by way of cooking techniques which are not difficult but relatable and understandable. And this is how it began. And now after so many years of sort of putting in a lot of consistent hard work, I'm here today, with Archana's Kitchen. The mission hasn't changed at all, continuing to sort of, with the growing internet age and the fast lives that we lead with ready-to-order Swiggy and restaurant foods, we all the more need to sort of step back and see how can we eat more mindfully, even if we're ordering food outside, and also how we can sort of cook more mindfully, considering that we eat a lot of food outside.
I have read a few of your blogs on mindful eating, and that has suddenly brought that into my focus as well, that how we need to eat mindfully and how we need to think about our portion sizes and things like that. I'm sure that your story will empower many of our listeners who are, sitting on the fence right now, and they will be able to take that leap of faith and not be so scared. It was incredible that you had the foresight to see that digital is the future and didn't go ahead and write that book. But right. Archana, tell me something that you would have done differently. If you could have a do-over, what advice would you give your 2001 self?
If I would just sort of pat my back and say I was really mature in my times. I constantly keep getting asked this question, what I would do, what are the things that I faced. Well, frankly speaking, I've always taken every step of my journey, laying it brick by brick. So I've always felt every time I grew, the next level is to sort of introspect what you have done, what have grown so far, the learnings, and then sort of and then take the next leap forward. Be it respect to how much you can invest back into the platform, how much of money that you can put back, how much revenues you're getting from it. Are you able to sort of make it affordable to go to the next stage? You must know that we are not a funded company, right? So it's completely run on on my own. So it's important that you sort of evaluate every step of the journey, get the learnings from it. I don't call anything as a mistake; it's all a learning. So get the learnings from the journey before, and sort of build on the next level, right? So it was not always about my recipe and my platform. It was always about the user. It was always about what is the user getting from the platform, and the user's journey into health is keeps fluctuating with seasons, with age, with times, with as they get older. So constantly trying to understand that user's journey is something that I always focused on. So back then, when I started Archana's Kitchen, there was no internet, right? So internet was, there was internet, but there was not enough penetration into the internet. There was no social media community pages. It was just emails and hearsay and word of mouth. And people would land up on the platform just, with by searching a recipe on Google. But when the communities came along, like the Facebook pages and now Instagram, it was very important to sort of dive right into it and capture, oh, this is such a large community. How do I understand my users? I've been given this entire community platform to sort of explore, understand them, understand their needs, and keep sort of evolving as a journey. So the journey never stops. You keep sort of building and working on and moving based on what the user's needs are. And that's pretty much how I've sort of worked and continue to sort of ensure that I put efforts into.
Absolutely. That is so amazing. I think all 20-year-olds need to take that into consideration who are getting into the entrepreneurial journey.
Yeah.
Is one, keep the user in mind always, and secondly, keep up with the times, right? As newer technology comes in. Let's go on to our last question of the day. Today, how are you living your life your way?
I live my life in a very holistic way. There is no separation between work and home or family. If I have sort of thinking about a strategy and discussing, it would be on the dining table, and my entire family and the children are sort of involved in it, and they would sort of pitch in ideas as to what needs to be done. We're being very inclusive into their thoughts and visions that they want to add into our lives. So that's pretty much how I think I'm leading my life. Very happy, because those are the moments that create happiness, that you have been inclusive with your entire home, and your time is not split. You're not stressed out because you're not thinking about how am I going to juggle both, right? Because It is not about juggling. It's about being inclusive and ensuring that you sort of have that fine blend and balance between the two.
But you're actually empowering the next generation, and you're actually showing them the way, because you're showing them your journey. So both the kids, I'm sure, are picking up on a lot of the stuff that you're doing and learn from your mistakes, as well as be able to build upon your successes.
Actually, one last point that you mentioned, you said learn from your mistakes, and that's something that I tell them. It's always learning lessons, your lessons that you have learned, and more than the mistakes that you've committed. So what new lessons that you have learned from what you have done before is something that I always tell them, because it's never a mistake unless you're harming someone intentionally. This is things that go unintentionally and things go wrong. And what have you learned from the things that went wrong, instead of saying, oh, I did a mistake?
And that's the best way to build confidence, right? Is how many mistakes are you making, because that means you're moving forward. So thank you so much, Archana, for joining us for this Connect series. And as a thank you, we're sending you a copy of My Life, My Way. And we hope you enjoy it, and let us know how you like it. Thanks again. It's been a privilege. Bye.
My pleasure.